first home World Series game in 22 years here. The roof was closed, and then it was open for the game. This place was loud, but they didn't have a ton to cheer about here tonight.
They did not. But Texas fans did, because you know why? They are still undefeated on the road this postseason. And, Ben, this game was decided pretty early here tonight in the second and third inning. What was the key to the Rangers' success early here tonight? Well,
one inning completely changed this entire ballgame, Alex, and it starts in the bottom of the second. When the Diamondbacks started threatening, Christian Walker ran through a stop sign and ended up getting thrown out at the plate by Adolis Garcia, who threw an absolute rocket, almost 95 miles an hour. So, to me, that was a big turning point. You had the crowd in it big time. Tommy Pham with a big hit to the opposite field. And then you would have had first and third, nobody out. Next thing you know, you have a runner on second with one out, with the guy getting thrown out at the plate. It's a completely different inning, and it's just a big to me, I struggled to swallow that. And I know the conversation became, well, he ran through a stop sign. I'm going to disagree with that. I saw what happened. I saw the third base coach waving him home, and then at the last second, he throws up the stop sign. But by that point, you can watch Christian Walker. He sees the go sign. He puts his head down and starts running. Then the third base coach, too late, decided to put up the stop sign. By that point, Christian Walker wasn't even watching, was thrown out at the plate, and that's a huge turning point. But if you have first and third, nobody out there, Alex, that changes everything. You can hit a fly ball to the outfield, and Christian Walker could have done a cartwheel home. It doesn't matter. But instead, he ends up getting thrown out by a million feet because of that base running mistake, and I thought it changed the vibe of the entire inning. Great throw by Adolis Garcia. Either way, though, the guy has 23 outfield assists, which is just insane. And then I say it all changed in one inning.
Yeah.
It was the bottom of the second and the top of the third that changed everything, because in the top of the third, Marcus Semien RBI, and then the Corey Seager two-run homer made it a 3-0 ball game. Stop pitching to Corey Seager at this point. The man is on fire. He's the one in this lineup right now, especially with Adolis Garcia, and you know, he ended up coming out of the game. We'll talk a little bit about that later, but right now Corey Seager is the one guy in this lineup that you can't let beat you. He did, two-run homer, 3-0 ball game at that time, and that's all it took. Yeah. That was the ball game, Alex, the bottom of the second and the top of the third right there. But for the Rangers tonight, the top of the order showed up.
Yep.
Marcus Semien with an RBI. Corey Seager with the two-run homer. Adolis Garcia with an outfield assist. Evan Carter with a couple of hits tonight. The Road Dogs keep on dogging on the road. They're 9-0 this postseason, an all-time record to start a single postseason, winning 9 consecutive games. That's what the Rangers are doing. But I will say, Alex, there were some injury concerns that did show up here tonight.
Yeah, so the thing for the Rangers is they won the game, right? This was great for them going up 2-1 in the series, but they lost a couple of big names tonight. Max Scherzer left with back tightness, and then Adolis Garcia left with side tightness. He was holding his back, so also looked like back tightness. How does this affect the Rangers if these two guys are out moving forward in the rest of the series?
I think it affects them big time, but especially Adolis Garcia. We don't know as much about that one. Just saw a post-game. He left the locker room in street clothes pretty much immediately, presumably to go get some tests done.
Yeah.
We'll hear more about that at some point. But Max Scherzer exiting the game pretty early on after the third inning, tries to come back out and throw some more. He was hit by Alek Thomas on a ground out in the bottom of the second. He did come back out, threw another inning, then tried to come back out for the fourth, and was taken out of the game and was officially ruled out with back tightness. So what does that affect? Yeah, I know. Max starts game 3, and that would typically line up for a game 7. I'm less concerned about a game 7 because John Gray ended up coming in and looking good. He could throw a game 7. What I'm more concerned about is game 4, because John Gray was supposed to be the one to pitch game 4, and now he had to come in this game and shut the door and come in for Max. So to me, this greatly affects what we see here tomorrow night. Now, instead of it being John Gray against a bullpen game for the Diamondbacks, now we're going to get essentially a bullpen game against a bullpen game. And give me the Diamondbacks all day, every day, if we're talking a battle of the bullpens right now. I know the Rangers will have Dane Dunning and Andrew Heaney, and they'll probably piggyback those two in some way or another at the beginning of the game. But this really affects things. These guys haven't been good in Dunning and Heaney, so now you're going to really have to rely on them in a game 4 when you were going to have to rely on John Gray, who looked really good tonight. But Dane Dunning, 6 innings pitched, 4 earned, and only 5 strikeouts so far in the 2023 postseason. Andrew Heaney, 6 innings pitched, also 4 earned. These are the guys that you're counting on to put you up 3-1 in the World Series. So I don't think it necessarily affects Game 7, because I think you can turn to John Gray, who looked good, but it really, really affects them tomorrow night in Game 4. So they won the game, vital for them, but still some really big losses here tonight for the Texas Rangers in terms of Max Scherzer and potentially Adolis Garcia.
Thanks for watching. If you love Flippin Bats, swinging 3-0, or just talking ball, join us. Call us at 213-537-9339 with your questions. We have a weekly guest, and we have a lot of fun, so hit that subscribe button.